Hello viewers, you're welcome to this week's episode of Festival of Talks. And on this week's episode of Festival of Talks, we're looking at the role of the youth in the forthcoming election. To discuss this, we had a brief interview with the Ijaw Youth Council President, Comrade Eradiri. Enjoy watching. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So it's been over a year since your assumption of office. How has the journey been so far?
Well, I was Secretary General of the Ijaw Youth Council, and so I already expected the challenges that face the office. But as President of the Council, you know, the challenges are enormous because you are now the center stage. Everybody see you as the melting point, and so every manner of crisis in the Niger Delta, you have to be on top of it. Today, we have been able to set up structures around the entire Nigeria and of course in the diaspora. We have the Eastern Zone, Rivers and Akwa Ibom, where we have the IYC domicile. We have Central Zone, Bayelsa, Western Zone, Edo, Ondo and Delta states. We also have Abuja and Lagos chapters. We have in recent times, as I took over the council, inaugurated the American chapter and as well as the South African chapter. We used to have the UK chapter. We are going forward to inaugurate the chapter in Suriname. Suriname is a colony in South America where we have Ijaws. During the slave trade, a lot of Ijaws were moved to Suriname. And so it's not been easy trying to coordinate all the activities of the Ijaw youths, both the good, the bad and the ugly, and ensuring that the Ijaw people are given a face in the Nigerian political scene and economic space.
Yes, taking from before assumption of office, we understand there were a series of disagreements and warring parties. How have you been able to reconcile all the warring parties?
Well, you see, politics in Nigeria is getting too worrisome. A situation where people lose elections and it is die hard, that must be the winner or else everything should scatter attitude is one that have affected a lot of activities in both youth and then in Nigeria itself. The polity is being affected by that negativity. That's why you see in Governors Forum there are two governors, because somebody loses an election and doesn't want to admit it. That's why you see that in states you have two House of Assembly speakers. You know, this is a negative trend from leaders, and youth see these things and allow themselves to imbibe those kind of negativity. And so the IYC is not immune from such, but so far so good. We have been able to resolve the issues that emanated from that process, and we are forging on a very strong and powerful Ijaw Youth Council.
So the average Nigerian youth would like to know the states in which your jurisdiction covers. The average, because we know Ijaws may know, but the average
I just mentioned it: Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, Ondo, and Edo states. And then we have chapters in Lagos, in Abuja, we have chapters in London, in America, and in South Africa. And I just said we are going to be inaugurating the chapter in Suriname, South America, and of course in Ghana in no distant time.
Okay, does the constitution of Ijaw Youth Council allow for rotational government?
Yes, that's what we do. We rotate our leadership in order to carry every structure or zones of the council along. So after every 3 years, the leadership moves to the next state or zone. We call it zones, but those zones in some areas you have 2 states, in some areas you have 1 state, in some area you have 3 states. Today I am from Central Zone. Before my time, we had somebody from the East, Abie Kromema. After 3 years, it rotates to the Central. After my term, 3 years, it now rotates to the Western Zone. And so we have a rotational leadership cut across the entire 10-member Executive Council in order to carry everybody along in the process of leading the Ijaw nation.
In the forthcoming, let's move away from, let's come now to the election. In the forthcoming election, what role are the youth expected to play in Ijaw Youth?
Well, our role, as you can see, is that we have been advocating a non-violent election. Those of us from the South are people that love life, we respect the sanctity of life, and we respect individuals. We are educated people, we know that it is negative to kill. And so we do not want these elections to be bloodshed. And what do leaders do? Educate the followers in order to put them on the same page as leaders so that they are not used for violence during the elections. And so the IYC have been reaching out to young people that it is not by guns that you win election. President Goodluck Jonathan have actually made us proud as a man who came from the Niger Delta, who is the first president in Nigeria to have broken grounds that a lot of presidents could not in the area of power, in the area of the airports, the roads, the economy, education, maritime. You can name as much as railway and all that. This president is one who have added so much value to this country, who is the most democratic president Nigeria has ever had. And so our appeal to Nigerians is that young people should look at the antecedents of this, look at the style and emulate him, because anybody who is humble will always get to the height. And that height is where he is, and we are appealing to Nigerians to support him for a second term. That appeal does not mean that people should go and be blocking roads or people should go and intimidate people. No. We are saying that we must campaign based on the issues so that other ethnic nationalities who supported Goodluck in the first term will also come out and support him again. Because we alone as Nigeria as a job cannot make him president. We need other ethnic nationalities. And who are the ethnic nationalities? Young people. The targeted audience for this election are young people. And so, as the leader of the Ijaw Youth Council, our duty is to reach out to younger Nigerians in other ethnic nationalities in order for them to support President Goodluck to succeed come February 14. So our message is that young people must go for their PVCs, their permanent voters card, because you can't say that you love this president without getting your voters card. You can't fill this stadium in solidarity with the president without a voters card. It amounts to nothing. And so if our votes must count, if we must defend this president, if we must support him to succeed, then we must go for our PVCs, because it is only with the PVCs that we can realize 14th of February 2014 victory for Mr. President.
A number of youths have been coming out to say it's either President Goodluck Jonathan or no other president. Such statements, don't you think it's inflammatory, it can affect the quality of the already heated polity of the nation?
Well, of course, I agree with you that such statements are inflammatory. But as IYC, as Ijaw Youth Council, we disassociate ourselves from such statements. We have said that we need others as friends, build bridges with other ethnic nationalities. It is not by force. However, we have said that the process leading to this election must be transparent. For instance, Buhari came to the Niger Delta, the home state of the president Bayelsa. As young people, we mobilized to support him for that process. He came, he had a field day, abused the leadership of the state and President Goodluck Jonathan in his home state and got away with it. He went away because we didn't want any crisis. Even when I was not around and people called that there were plans to disrupt that event, I mobilized the Ijaw Youth Council, worked with the security operatives to secure him. 4 days after they start burning in the north, buses carrying the face of Mr. President. A week after, they begin to stone the president in the home state of General Buhari. Without General Buhari taking charge, it shows that the same antecedents that he has shown in the past, where youth corpers were killed because of statements he made, very unrepentantly, he has begun again. So my sister, We will never support such. And that's why our conduct is key. That's why our utterances are key. Just last week, we had a meeting with all structures in Ijaw land to review the seeming threat to the life of Mr. President anytime he goes to other parts of the country to campaign. And then the media carried it that they were declaring war. No, we debunked it. We said no. I said no, that's not what we said. Our resolution in that meeting was that we condemn in totality the affront of the president, and that we support the president unanimously as Niger Delta people, and that if the process leading to the election is not free and fair, just as we have envisaged, there is no level field playing ground for Mr. President. The president cannot, a candidate cannot come to the Niger Delta, have a field there, and then when the president goes to his northern part, he will now be intimidated. Supporters of the president will be intimidated. Just today, in Gombe State, somebody's hands were cut off for pasting the poster of the Mr. President. We will go back and call the Ijaw people, call the Niger Delta people to an emergency meeting, and we will review the position whether these elections will move forward.
But sir, the attack on the president in Bauchi and Katsina State was condemned by the All Progressive Congress. So if you're taking a cue from that, saying that since the president was attacked there and here the opposition had a field day, I don't know, I would like you to react on that because it was actually condemned. They didn't support it.
The truth is that they should have, it's not about going to condemn it. They should have put the machineries in place to ensure that it didn't happen. Like I just told you an example that we got the information that Buhari would be embarrassed in Bayelsa State. We put the machineries. We didn't wait to condemn the act because the damage will be done. First of all, President Goodluck Jonathan is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and must be accorded that respect in whichever part of the country he goes to. And so our president is no longer safe in other parts of the country. Is an affront on Nigerians. It's not about the Ijaw people. It's just that he is our own son and we will not tolerate such in any way. Much as we are preaching non-violence, we will not fail to defend the Ijaw nation when the time arises.
Sir, we also, a notable Niger Deltan, I wouldn't want to call his name, he said that if the opposition party, that's Muhammadu Buhari, if he comes to any part of Niger Delta, that they are going to do a similar thing to what they did to him in Bauchi, to what they did to Goodluck Jonathan in Bauchi State. And now, from what you're just saying, it's like the Niger Deltans, Ijaw youths, are not happy with it. So will you be supporting a reprisal attack?
You see, Niger Delta youths are peace-loving people. We have been peace-loving. Buhari came, had his field day when all these elements were there. And then when our president goes to his place, they put the life of our president in danger. A lot of groups in the Niger Delta will react to it because we on our own welcomed him and gave him a peaceful ground. But on his own, he decided to attempt to murder our own son, and we will not accept it. And so, my sister, much as we preach non-violence, we will not accept to be intimidated by any part of this country. That is the point we are making. So if groups are beginning to make threats, of course they have a right to their opinion. At this point, I will no longer guarantee the safety of General Buhari. You can see what is happening. If since the electioneering started in the north, any PDP campaign structure is destroyed, posters destroyed, buses burned, individuals maimed. Before today, and yet they have been coming to the south and we have tolerated APC. You can see APC everywhere. Nobody stops them. But at this point, when it has become glaring that our president does not have a level field playing ground for this election, of course people will react. And that reaction can be in various ways, which of course I am not in the best position to express. However, we had asked INEC to educate us whether we are ready for this election or not. Because one individual has a field day around the country, the other individual does not have a level field playing ground. Again, the PVCs are issued in the north, but there are several complaints in the southern part of Nigeria that a lot of PVCs have not gotten to the collection points. So we have already said that INEC should brief us and give us the statistics of, the distribution of the PVCs. Because we believe that you can rig an election by ensuring that somebody does not have his PVC. That's why we have said we must vote with our temporary voters card, which virtually everybody has. So that if you have not been able to perfect the PVC process, then you can carry on, and then as time goes on, you can perfect it. But for the purpose of the election, those who have temporary voters card should be allowed to vote.
So this is contrary to what the president has been saying. The president has been saying the vote must be done with permanent voters card. So saying the Ijaw Youth Council is seeking that people should vote with their temporary voters card is somehow contrary to what
the president has his opinion. I have my opinion. I am saying that we are on the ground. We have said that for the fact that with the PVCs, we are not seeing them in the Niger Delta. Temporary voters card should be used. We are going to present it to INEC. You understand? The president, as a president, will give his directive, but the people are saying that we are not getting it.
Okay, sir. We would like to know the future of IYC. Is it experiencing a boom now because a Niger Delta president is the head of
government?
Nigeria? Yes.
Well, it has no bearing. It has no bearing with politics. The IYC is a non-partisan organization. You can see how dressed I am. I am non-partisan. I am neither a PDP nor an APC. I only protect the Ijaw man in politics, and that's why we are here to protect President Goodluck Jonathan, who happened to be flag bearing the PDP. Of course, we have one or two of us that are in government today. Of course, when you have your own in government, things are easier for you. And so I wouldn't shy away from the fact that having President Goodluck Jonathan have added so much value to the IYC as an institution. I won't deny that.
So what are the challenges?
Usual challenges of leadership. People not being satisfied with leaders. People always over-wanting what seemingly they cannot get. People expecting to have the whole world with you. That's one of the greatest challenges. In several ways, be it educationally, be it employment, be it economy, be it politics. They expect that you as the leader have the answer to everything, when in the real sense, it's not easy to come by.
So what's the advice for the youth?
Well, Ijaw youth should be law-abiding, peaceful. These elections will be won by common sense, reaching out to other ethnic nationalities who will support this president to win. He has the credentials, he has the manifesto, he has proven himself in 4 years and 8 months. What he has done, presidents could not achieve in 2 terms of 8, 16, 20, 30 years. This president have achieved in 4 years, 8 months. And so we must take the message to other ethnic nationalities, let them know that this is the value this man has put. Therefore, let us support this man based on this.
Hey, hello.
And also, I am very, very convinced that come February 14th, we will win. We will win because every youth must go get his PVC. It's not enough to fill a stadium. Go and get your PVC. That is my message to Nigerians.
And your message for the politicians, generally?
Politicians will always be politicians. There is no message you will tell them that will change them today. They will always be what they are. I think that the followers are the ones that need the message. And the message is that we must be law-abiding, because if they cannot bring their children and give them guns to shoot, there's no justification to give another man's child a gun. If you cannot put your children to go and be destroying other people's houses because of politics, then there's no justification to give another man's child, me and you. Therefore, if a politician comes and says we should go and burn that place, we should also give the kerosene to his son. Then if it is good for his son, it will also be good for you.
So just a quick one before you go. Are you going to seek re-election to some other positions after?
I am a living being. Every sound, educated, living being have an ambition. And I have an ambition to get to the top.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Yes, we want to agree with Comrade Eradiri that the youths should be non-violent in the forthcoming election. The election should be violence-free. And we expect everybody to come out en masse and vote for your candidates. We also expect that INEC does their work by distributing the voters card, permanent voters card, to eligible voters in order not to disenfranchise anybody. Thank you very much for watching the show. My name is Angel Perfecta Eze. Tune in next week for another interesting edition. Until then, goodbye.